Maritime Academy. Classification and surveys. Aims knows the objectives and functions of classification societies. Objectives states the functions of classification societies, states the roles of classification societies, knows the purpose and requirements of various surveys on board ships. The principal maritime nations have the following classification societies: Great Britain Lloyd's Register of Shipping, LR, France Bureau Veritas, BV, Germany Germanischer Lloyd, GL, Norway Det Norske Veritas, DNV, Italy Registro Italiano Navale, RINA, United States of America American Bureau of Shipping, ABS, Russia Russian Register of Shipping BAR RS, Japan Nippon Kaiji Kyokai, NKK. Classification societies, with their rules and regulations relating to classification, provide a set of standards for sound merchant ship construction which have developed over many years. These rules are based on experience, practical knowledge, and considerable research and investigation. The classification societies operate by publishing rules and regulations relating to the structural efficiency and the reliability of propelling machinery and equipment. These rules are a result of years of experience, research, and investigation into ship design and construction. They are in fact a set of standards. To be classed, e.g., with Lloyd's, approval is necessary for the constructional plans, the materials used, and the constructional methods and standards as observed by the surveyor. Functions of all classification societies. 1. To ensure that the ship maintains her strength and seaworthiness throughout her life. 2. Check that the vessel complies with international codes and conventions. 3. Publishes a register book, collection of data on behavior of ship strictures. 4. Damage surveys, surveys of the various machinery on ships, inspection of land-based engineering projects. 5. Research of ship problems, technical investigations of problems in service, risk and reliability analysis, and quality assurance inspections. Ship classification, compliance with the rules and regulations standards of a particular classification society, ensures assignment and maintenance of the ship's class. In general, classification rules and regulations do not cover ships' flotational stability, LSA, pollution prevention arrangements, FFA/fire detection arrangements under SOLAS, nor do they protect personnel on board from dangers connected with their own actions or movements on board. Note, these are normally dealt with by flag state authorities. However, some flags delegate such responsibilities to class, who then act on their behalf as per agreed procedures. Classification is not a statutory requirement. It is a commercial facility mainly required by hull and machinery insurers, P&I clubs, ship financiers, and cargo insurers. Also useful and considered when selling or purchasing ships. It gets indirectly linked with statutory certification, SAPCN. For example, if a ship has her class suspended, normally the Flag Administration will also withdraw her statutory certificates. A ship's class is denoted by hull and machinery class notations. Classification societies may use different systems of notation. For Lloyd's Register of Shipping, LR, a hull notation plus 100A1 double hull oil tanker, ESB, IWS, Lee, actually a Maltese cross, equal hull constructed under LR Special Survey, 100 equals suitable for seagoing service, equal accepted into LR class and maintained in good/efficient condition. 1 equal has good/efficient anchoring and mooring equipment. Double hull oil tanker equal structure designed/constructed in accordance with LR rules for double hull oil tankers. A ship type in cargo notation, ESB equal she is subject to an enhanced survey program. IWS equal applicable LR requirements for in-water survey are complied with. Lee equal approved loading instrument installed as LR requirement. For Lloyd's Register of Shipping, LR, a machinery notation may include LMCU MSICC plus LMC, actually a Maltese cross, equal propelling and essential auxiliary, machinery constructed, installed, and tested under LR Special Survey, UMS equal when ship can be operated with machinery space and attended, and control engineering equipment is arranged, installed, and tested as per LR rules, ICC equal when control/supervision of ship's operational functions are computer-based and control engineering equipment is arranged, installed, and tested as per LR rules. In addition to class notations, a few descriptive notations may be assigned to a ship. They are assigned when ship meets some additional class requirements on a voluntary basis. These are usually not recorded on the ship's class certificate. EG, Shipwright, SCM, which means ship has met LR's requirements for shipwright's crew shaft. Condition monitoring. Class is maintained by carrying out regular surveys of hull, machinery, and relevant equipment, and any required repairs for wear and tear and accidents under supervision of a class society surveyor. Any modifications/conversions must have class approval. Conditions of classification. Under IAC's requirements, for a ship to remain in class, the owner must ensure that the following conditions for classification are met. Ship maintained a standard meeting rule requirements when examined at periodical surveys. All damages, defects, breakdowns, and groundings are reported. Ship has on board following valid statutory convention certificates: load line, safety construction, safety equipment, safety radio, IOP, cert of fitness for carriage of dangerous chemicals in bulk, cert of fitness for carriage of liquefied gases in bulk, safety management. Ship is properly loaded and operated at all times. Ship has onboard loading guidance in form of a loading manual and loading instrument as required by class rules. Ship is operated in environmental conditions she is designed for. Unless prior agreement from class, voyages are to or between service areas as per class notation, where applicable. Unless prior agreement obtained from class, periodical surveys include annual surveys, intermediate surveys, docking surveys, and special surveys. Classification certificates. Certificate of class is awarded to new or existing vessels on completion of special survey, and reports to this effect have been submitted by surveyors. When these reports have been approved by the committee, a certificate of first entry of classification is issued. A certificate of class maintenance can also be issued in respect of completed periodical surveys of hull and machinery on application. Provisional or interim certificates can be issued to a class vessel by the Society's surveyors to enable her to proceed on her voyage, provided in their opinion it is fit and in efficient condition. Such certificates will embody the surveyor's recommendations for continuance of class, but they are in all cases subject to confirmation by the committee. Classification surveys. Typical periodical hull classification surveys are named as initial, carried out during construction of new ship. Special survey, include design, materials, quality/workmanship, and arrangements for issue of certificate of class. Annual, carried out within 3 months before or after of each anniversary date of the ship's commissioning or last special survey. 6-month window with range dates, confirms that general condition of the hull, openings, freeboard marks, steering gear, watertight doors, gangways, anchors/mooring, loading instrument, equipment, related piping, and timber deck cargo fittings, etc. is being maintained at satisfactory level. Annual load line inspection items also covered. No extension of range dates is allowed. Intermediate, carried out instead of the second or third annual survey, to include internal examination of SW ballast tanks as follows. Representative tanks for vessels over 5 years, all tanks for vessels over 10 years, in dry cargo ships over 15 years to examine a forward and after cargo hold. For ESP ships, tankers, dry bulk carriers, there are enhanced intermediate survey requirements. For ESP ships over 15 years, an intermediate survey is as stringent as the previous special survey. Bottom/docking survey. 2 docking surveys are required to be completed within any 5-year survey cycle. Max period between 2 successive dockings, not to exceed 30 months, and 1 must coincide with special survey. The intermediate docking survey may be replaced with an in-water survey if the ship meets the in-water survey and IWS notation. Note, IWS not permitted for ESP ships over 15 years. Items to be examined during dry docking are the shell plating, stern frame and rudder, external and through hull fittings, and all parts of the hull particularly liable to corrosion and chafing, and any unfairness of bottom. Classification surveys. Special, carried out at 5 years interval to renew class certificate, may be referred to as renewal survey. First special survey is completed within 5 years from date of the initial survey, and thereafter every 5 years from the date of the previous special survey. Scope of this survey includes all annual survey hull and equipment items, more stringent to verify it can last another 5 years, and in addition thickness measurements of plating, internal examination of holds/tanks, cofferdams/bilges, etc., examination of engine structure, examination of underwater parts with ranging of anchors/cables, and examination of sea chests, hence coincide with 1 docking survey. Continuous hull survey. allowed at owner's request in lieu of special surveys for ships other than oil/chemical tankers, bulk carriers, and combination carriers. Complete survey of items required under special survey is carried out, including opening up of hull compartments, and must be completed within the 5-year class survey cycle period. During each survey in the cycle, all items are surveyed/tested in regular rotation with uniform 20% annual share within the 5-year period. In Water Survey, IWS, a bottom survey permitted to be carried out by qualified divers and equipment under supervision of a surveyor, in lieu of an intermediate docking survey. Ship must meet certain IWS requirements and have IWS notation. The survey is carried out with ship at light draft in sheltered clear waters. If any damage/deterioration is detected, a docking survey for more detailed examination may become liable. Items to be examined during IWS are those for dry docking, but generally consideration is only for suitable high-resistance paint. Damage survey, a survey requested as a result of hull damage or other defects to items covered under class. In order that the ship maintains its class, approval of the repairs undertaken must be obtained from the surveyors either at the time of the repair or at the earliest opportunity. Master/owner is obligated to advise the society when such defects occur. If possible, surveyor may defer permanent repairs with temporary repairs until next periodical/plan survey, giving a condition of class. Items inspected during an annual hull classification survey. These include items required for annual inspections under Load Line 1966 and cover general condition of hull and its closing appliances, hatches, ventilators, side scuttles, overboard discharges, chutes, etc., watertight doors, and W/T bulkhead penetrations, water clearing arrangements, freeing ports, scuppers, etc., gameways/walkways, lifelines, guardrails, access to crew quarters and working areas, freeboard/load line marks, anchoring/mooring equipment, alt water tanks, pipelines, container securing arrangements, if any, permanent fittings for timber deck cargoes, if any. Items inspected during dry docking survey, shell plating, including bottom and bow plating, checked for excessive corrosion, deterioration, unfairness, or buckling. Special attention to bilge strakes and bilge keels, sea chests and gratings, sea connections, and overboard discharge valves/cocks and fastenings. Visible parts of rudder, rudder pintles, rudder shafts/couplings, and stern frame. Rudder bearing clearance to be obtained. Pressure test of rudder may be required. Visible parts of propeller and stern bush. Stern bush clearance and efficiency of stern gland to be determined. CPP fastenings and tightness of hub if fitted. Visible parts of side thrusters if fitted. Cathodic protection. Anchors and chains ranged. Hull painting during dry docking survey. Underwater hull cleaned of all fouling barnacles, weeds, etc. Descaling and application of primers, application of any fouling paint, precautions with echo sounder apertures, probes, tank plugs, wettered surface area of underwater hull obtained by formula. Wettered area SQM equal 2.58 x LLA D 10s x ship length M. Requirements for a ship to obtain in water inspection notation. To have arrangements for obtaining stern bush and rudder pintle and rudder bush clearances can be ascertained afloat. Arrangement to verify security of rudder pintles when afloat. A high resistance paint has been applied to the underwater portion of the hull as per manufacturer's requirements. Coating condition confirmed at each dry docking. Plans with all above details have been submitted and approved by class, and copies placed on the ship. Oil tankers and bulk carriers to which SOLAS/MARPOL apply are subject to an enhanced program of inspections under Reg 2 of SCI of SOLAS 74 and MARPOL Reg 13, and as incorporated in EMS Safety Convention regulations, and as described in IMO Res. 744-18 related to SAFCON certificate. As for IAC, CSP applies to all seagoing self-propelled oil/chemical tankers, combination carriers, bulk carriers, and ore carriers. Carried out during periodical surveys, can commence at 4th annual survey and completed by 5th year, with enhanced inspections of areas of the hull structure and piping systems in way of cargo spaces, cofferdams, pump rooms, pipe tunnels, voids within cargo length area, and all ballast tanks. Items such as tank coatings, with emphasis on close-up inspection and thickness measurement of certain areas liable to substantial corrosion, fractures, or deformation, such as hull and piping, in way of cargo holds/tanks, pump rooms, cofferdams, pipe tunnels, void spaces within cargo area, and all ballast tanks. Ships under this program have a class notation ESP documents associated with the SPR. A survey program file containing ship's info, structural plans, cargo/ballast history, and inspections by ship staff. Executive Hull Summary (EHS), comprising of a survey report file containing hull survey reports, thickness measurement reports, repair history, condition of coatings, corrosion, and survey planning document, developed by shipowner in consultation with Maritime. It is issued by the Class Society on completion of a special survey. Executive Hull Summary to be kept on the ship for the life of the ship. Interim between SS and issue of EHS, an ESP statement may be issued. Stringency of intermediate surveys for ESP increases with ship's age of over 5 years, over 10 years, and over 15 years. For ships over 15 years, the same stringency is used as the last special survey. No in-water inspections being permitted. ESP does not currently apply to liquefied gas carriers or edible oil carriers. CAJ Condition Assessment Scheme is applicable under revised Reg 13G of MARPL 73/78 to all single-hull oil tankers of 5,000 DWD and over and above 15 years or more. Also to some oil tankers under current MARPL Reg 13G and 13H. Require more stringent and transparent verification of the reported structural condition of the ship. Compliance with CAJ is assessed during ESP inspections at intermediate and renewal surveys. Not a statutory requirement. CAP Condition Assessment Program survey offered by class for tankers 15 years of age or more. Provide an independent appraisal of the condition of ship for oil tanker charterers. Participating in the program gives the ship a CAP rating. Ratings 1 high, 4 low, 1 and 2 are favorable and show well-maintained vessels. CAP survey covers hull structure assessment, machinery assessment, cargo systems assessment. Reasons for class withdrawal: annual/intermediate surveys not complete with 3 months of due date, automatic suspension, special survey not completed by due date, automatic suspension if no agreed extension, not complying with regulations, suspension at discretion of society, not reporting damages, defects, breakdowns, or groundings, suspension at discretion of society, not having valid convention certificates, suspension at discretion of society, repairs not acceptable to class, suspension at discretion of society, ship under tow and class not advised, suspension at discretion of society, ship operated with relevant freeboard marks submerged, suspension at discretion of society, incorrectly located freeboard marks, suspension at discretion of society, inappropriate use of ship or operating in unsuitable environment, suspension at discretion of society, inadequate remedial action on any of the above, class withdrawn at discretion of society, transfer of class or scrapping, class withdrawn at owner's request. Harmonized System of Surveys and Certification, HSSC. HSSC formally entered into force on February 3, 2000 via the 1988 Protocols to SOLAS 74 and Load Line 66 conventions, together with amendments to MARPL 73/78, IBC Code, BCH Code, and GC Code. The objective of HSSC is to standardize the period of validity and the intervals between surveys for the main convention/statutory certificates to max period of validity of 5 years for all certificates except a passenger ship safety certificate, which remains as 1 year. The window for renewal of these certs is 6 months, i.e. not earlier than 3 months before expiry date and not later than 3 months after expiry date. All certificates are subject to annual, intermediate, bottom inspections and /or renewal surveys. Passenger Cargo Ship Safety Radio, INT, Load Line, Cargo Ship Safety Equipment, Cargo Ship Safety Construction, MARPL, ISM, IBC/BCH, IGC/GC. BC Code means the Code of Safe Practice for Solid Bulk Cargoes, adopted by the IMO by Resolution 434 XI, as subsequently amended. BCH Code means the Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships Carrying Dangerous Chemicals in Bulk, adopted by the IMO by Resolution 212-7, as subsequently amended. GC Code means the Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships Carrying Liquefied Gases in Bulk, adopted by the IMO by Resolution 328-IX, as subsequently amended. IBC Code means the International Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships Carrying Dangerous Chemicals in Bulk, adopted by the IMO by Resolution MISC 448, as subsequently amended. IGC Code means the International Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships Carrying Liquefied Gases in Bulk, adopted by the IMO by Resolution MISC 548, as subsequently amended. Items to be inspected prior to renewing a SAFCN certificate: structural strength, watertight doors, bilge pumping and drainage arrangements, electrical equipment and installation, emergency sources of electrical power, electric and electro-hydraulic steering gear, precaution against shock, fire and other hazards of electrical origin, fire protection, boilers and machinery, means of going astern, shafts, boiler feed systems, steam pipe systems, air pressure systems, cooling water systems, fuel, lubricating and other oil systems, communications, steering gear, anchor chain and cables, means of escape, means of stopping machinery, shutting of fuel suction pipes and closing openings. Questions. Describe the purpose of the docking survey. What are the parts of the ship that is examined by a surveyor during an annual survey? List some of the different class notations and their significance. Give an example combining at least 5 different class notations, hull, and explain the meaning. Use Lloyd's Register of Shipping notations. Explain the meaning of the following LRS notations: plus 100A1, plus 100A1 oil tanker Baltic service FP 600 coulombs and above in no 4 tanks, ice class 2, plus LMC, UMS, IGS, Lloyd's RMC class 1. Enumerate the different occasions when a ship may be subjected to a classification survey. Write short notes on the following periodical classification surveys. Outline the frequency of such surveys: annual surveys, docking surveys, in-water surveys, intermediate surveys, special surveys, continuous surveys. State the functions of classification societies. Enumerate some of the interests involved in shipping, which necessitate the need for classification of ships. When is a certificate of class issued? What is a provisional certificate? Maritime Academy.